Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Because studying literature is about vocabulary. It's about words. It's about studying language. It's about, words are symbols, and the more that you collect, the more ways you can identify the world around you. So absolutely, I always keep a reader's notebook when I read, and I basically, a lot of times I challenge myself. I look at the novel I'm reading, and I judge the novel I'm reading based on how many words that I write down and I don't know.
If I had to compare it to me and my sister probably read a little bit more literature than I did, and her vocabulary is much more in-depth than mine. She has a lot more words that she can understand versus me. So I would have to agree that by reading literature, or what was it? Classic literature, you get to see more words that you don't normally use on a normal basis, so you have a bigger vocabulary of it.
Because while you read, you learn new vocabulary and understand more about the past.
Because classical literature uses the foundations of our language, and it's through our language has been evolved into what it is currently known as today, so it's definitely important.
There's a lot of history just in classical literature, because there's a lot of them sometimes talk about the time frame they're in, or at least they descriptively talk about their time frame, so you can kind of figure out what's going on during that time period. Maybe not specifically to what's going on in politics or whatever, like in history class, but you can kind of see a depth of what's happening.
Because I think that people who read literature, classic literature, improve their language and have a more fluent conversation with other people.
I'm reading Robinson Crusoe right now by Daniel Defoe. And on the surface, this is a very simple book about a man who is marooned on an island. On a deeper level, it's about colonialism. Once Robinson Crusoe is on the island, he starts making things, and he starts building numerous places to live, building numerous accessories to help him with his life. And that's reflective of what the British Empire was doing during the 18th century. They were out colonizing various places. So literature and history are absolutely tied together.
Classic literature uses hard words, so it helps readers understand new words.
Because it has been proven that people who read more have a better communication topic.
Because there's studies that have been done that show that people who can read and understand classic literature understand body language better, people's body language. They have a more empathy towards their fellow man. That's why they call it the humanities. That's why English is in the humanities. It's the study of what it means to be alive and what it means to be human.
The Catcher in the Rye was a very controversial book. It's a classic that's not only worth a visit, but also a revisit, because many readers have reported a very different experience with the book in adolescence as in adulthood. Whether you love or hate Holden Caulfield, it's a book that provokes strong reactions in many, and it was groundbreaking for its time. A love story set in early 19th century England, it would be easy to write off Pride and Prejudice as just a romance novel, but there's so much more going on here. The story follows Elizabeth Bennet as she navigates the polite minefield of marriage, morality, and more. If you're going to read just one Jane Austen book, this is it. There's a quote from Mark Twain that goes something like, "A classic book is a book which everybody praises but nobody reads."
In conclusion, we should read classic literature because it helps us enhance our vocabulary, improve our social skills, and gain historical knowledge.